I'm going to put this up because I want to make the connection of how JFK was able to help kidnap me in 1941 and brought me to Moulton, Alabama. This is me in 43 with this family. My real name's Margaret Ann Windsor. My father's Edward VIII. My mom's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister to Georgia O'Keefe, the artist. So my mom was an American born in Wisconsin, Madison. This is a double that married Wallace Simpson married a double and became the illegal title of Duke and Duchess of Windsor. My father was always married to my mom. They took him down because he was honest, and it's been a character assassination of my father, and it's still in used till today. It has not been corrected, the lies told about him. He was forced to abdicate December of 36, and it still reports it as he to marry Wallace Simpson, which was a lie. He was married to my mom. She was the Queen of England. Sir Winston Churchill helped destroy the Windsor files. My father's married to my mom and my birth in 39. There was an addendum that made me the Queen of England. It was if my father had an heir, the heir would inherit. And I was born in 39, and this is my Uncle George, illegal. Talk about family ties. He's with Roosevelt, 1939. And I think this is Newsweek, and oddly enough, Newsweek, well, anyway, here's the 39 here. If I can get it, show it, I wouldn't want to, right there. And they're planning my kidnapping in, well, I was born in 39, kidnapped in 41, and JFK helped. So this is what I'm trying to get to. Jackie Kennedy, Jackie Bouvier Kennedy, JFK's wife, who was the First Lady. How about that? JFK kidnaps me. He helps kill Marilyn Monroe, who was he's having sex with. So was Robert, and he was part of the mafia. You can Google it. It tells it if you don't want to believe me. Anyway, Jackie Bouvier Kennedy, her sister, Caroline Lee Bouvier, first married Michael Temple Canfield. Mr. Canfield was reportedly the illegitimate son of Prince George of Kent. That's the first one there, and this is my father. And this is Prince Albert, the Duke of York, and that's the SOB George VI. And then there's Prince Henry, who helped kidnap his own brother's daughter and the Queen. That'd be me. And Elizabeth was living in Buckingham Palace when I was born, and it brought my father back as my power of attorney because I'm the legal heir. So they had to get rid of me. So they planned my kidnapping. And Roosevelt, by the way, was the one that I was looking for something here, and I don't guess I'll find it. Appointed Joe Kennedy ambassador, 36 till they kicked him out in 46. I wanted to show something. Right here. Now this is Simpson, Wallace Simpson, that married the double, and history tells you she married my father. A lie. All of it's a total lie. Take down to my father. Here she is in October of 41, after I was kidnapped, or I was brought over here in the summer of 41. Here she is shaking hands with Mrs. Roosevelt, the wife. How cozy they look. This is George the illegal VI, Elizabeth's father, that helped take down his own brother and kidnap his own niece, the monarch. She's sitting with Roosevelt. And this is Simpson with Mrs. Roosevelt in October of 41, shaking hands. Job well done. They got me out of the picture and my father. Now I want to get back to this, is what I was really going for. And I'm just going to read down here. Okay, you've got Caroline Lee Bouvier, sister to Jackie Kennedy, JFK's wife. Anyway, First Lady. Okay, Mr. Canfield was reportedly, that was the first marriage, was reportedly the illegitimate son of Prince George of Kent and Violet Evans, daughter of a Canadian coal merchant. So Michael, the son Michael, was adopted by U.S. publisher Cass Canfield, went on to wed Jackie Kennedy's sister, Lee Bouvier Canfield. And here's the thing to stop and think about. There was a photo taken of Jackie Kennedy, and this is in 1955. I don't have the date when she married Raswell, which I'm coming to. But Jackie Kennedy was with Michael Canfield, who's reportedly the son of, he's my uncle, the Duke of Kent, George, the Duke of Kent, who, by the way, right after I was kidnapped, he went down in a plane crash and was killed. How about them apples? Now, Canfield was, I think I've just put this up, I took one down, was adopted by, adopted by the Canfields. And thus, that's his last name, supposedly the illegitimate son, and the access to the royal family. And here, Jackie Kennedy herself was with him, Canfield, at what I've picture and all, and you can Google it, 1955 at the Newport Casino, published in the Tennis Weekly News Post, Rhode Island. Picture of Jackie and him together. So what's she doing with him? Okay. I think her sister and he were divorced at the time. I'm not sure. But that gets to be a little much, you think? Now then, Caroline Lee Bouvier, who had married this gentleman, Canfield. Canfield. Okay, now then she marries Stan's, his last name is, his name is Stanislaw Radziwill, Radzwill, I believe. So she was married to two people that were associated with the royal family. And they had their ends to the royal family. Now, Radziwill was supposed to be a prince, but not really. Lee, sister of Kennedy, sister-in-law of JFK Kennedy, sister of Jackie, used the princess and I think Elizabeth, and I'm not going to call her queen. She's illegal. She's a war frigging criminal. Wouldn't let her use the name, but she did anyway. But they were born in Poland, but then you get into, you'd have to look it up. I did, and it gets to be a mess. I just have a small little phone that's got Google on it. I have to Google it. It goes on down to the Mountbattens, Battenberg, Mountbattens, etc., and to Philip Mountbatten's mother. She was Greek, and she's back to Victoria the First. I'm Victoria the Second. How's that? But anyway, Philip's mother, there was an overthrow of the Greek government, and Mountbatten was in the army, and she's the one that's connected to the royal family. But anyway, without going any further, you see it goes back to the Philip Mountbatten and the Mountbattens. So he married Elizabeth, and you get the connection there to where they had the end to the royal family, and they took down my dad, and I could try to tell more, and it's a little too much. I don't know what else I was going to put up. I guess that was it. And the only other thing I wanted to say, but this is part of what they did to a beautiful man. This was given to me some years ago, and it was, I don't have all of it, I guess. It was a mess that was released by the media there in England, I believe. And it was, I can't find the first page, and I guess I am having a rough time here. It's the lies they told about my father. It is so ridiculous that anybody who looked at it would know it was all a lie. It had her dating a mechanic and this double that's not my father. You should see all they had him doing, which was nothing but lies. Now then, if you ever see what they did to me and mine here in this country. And I don't know that that's all I was going to put up, but I guess it is. I tried to put it back the best I can, and I'm moving around again. I didn't mean to. So let's see. Princess Alice of Battenberg. Okay. Later, that's the mother of Philip, and he became Philip of Edinburgh. So that was the connection back to Stanislaw. So there was two ends to the royal family. One through Stanislaw that Jackie's sister Lee married, and the other one was to Canfield, the illegitimate son of my uncle, supposedly. I don't know. I do know, before I go on this, that it was telling about a book written by Gore Vidal, and I didn't get the other two authors, and maybe have been more than that. But look at all the lies they've told about my father. I mean, married to my mom, not even this woman, the overthrow of the illegal treaties and everything, and the kidnapping of me and bringing me here. But in the book by Gore Vidal, and the other two that it mentioned, it was telling about Lee Bouvier Kennedy, sister to Jackie. All right, she was going to bed with her sister's husband, JFK, many, many times over the years. And when Jackie was president, when Jackie was pregnant, and JFK, he took Lee Bouvier, Jackie's sister, with him, and they had sex on the trip. Now, I didn't read the book, so that's just an excerpt out of Wikipedia, and, well, I don't know if it's Wikipedia, out of Google article, and it was published, I'd have to go back and see, but anybody can go back and look it up in Google. Now then, my point, they have done such a disastrous thing, taking down my father with lies, who was honest and wouldn't go along with the Illuminati. He had his only daughter kidnapped, and the lies attributed to this decent man by this bunch of hoodlums. And I want to apologize if it's wrong, but I'm trying to put the end to the royal family, how they got in there and managed to take down my father and kidnap me, the Kennedy part in it. And by the way, I had to live on the Appalachian Trail after I came here in '86, just to have a place to be. And I almost cry, tear up, because when I think about it, I know I'll have to leave here because they wanted to kidnap me, but nobody wants me around, all right? Stir up trouble by telling the truth. But I cry when I think about the mountains here because that's the only place I had to go. I froze and starved. Second year I was up there it was before the new trail from Mountain Pass near the post office was made up to Full Heart Knob. It's like Alpha and Omega. There was the old trail that I came up, only one at the time. About the 1993 or 94, I looked down the trail after a winter of hell of freezing and starving, and believe you me, it's cold. And I didn't have proper equipment, but I looked down and I thought, that's JFK Jr. And he came up with his buddy, and it was him. And he did say it was him, and it was true. And his words were, I wanted to come and see how we made you live. So he knew about me. And I've said this before, I wonder if my face and the condition I was in pleased him so much that it flashed before his eyes just before his plane went down and he died. What they did to me and my family and country is so sick, and Kennedy is touted by everybody. They love him. And they ask if, look at what they did to my father with lies, this country, and part of my own family.